Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. I hope that you all can hear us loud and clear. We have a very special guest tonight, Mr. Money Smart Guy himself, Matt Sapaula. So we'll wait for a few minutes for people to come on in, and we're going to do our introduction, and we're going to have a very great conversation. And I encourage everyone to ask your questions because we're going to have a really good time. This is for all of you to gain as many insights that you possibly can that can help and assist our veteran community. So we want to thank you all for tuning in. So before we get started, my name is Jimmy Fresh. I am the CEO and founder of the Military Fresh Network, which is a media company and marketing agency. And we also are created to highlight and elevate our service members from across the world that are currently serving and those who have served. Our veteran community as well. So you see all the things in the background. That's what we're about. So we're going to talk to you and continue to bring special guests to highlight and elevate our service members by also providing something to our military community. So thank you for tuning in tonight and stay tuned for our very special guest, Mr. Matt Sapaula. So Matt Sapaula is America's Money Smart Guy. Matt Sapaula is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, has dedicated his professional career to spreading financial literacy, a positive message, and empowering members of the middle class to take charge of their personal finances and realize financial independence. He provides families and individuals with the necessary tools and guidance to improve their financial literacy, make informed decisions, and achieve their short and long-term goals for their financial lives. Matt's Money Smart expertise has been featured in national, regional, and industry media broadcasts and publications. He was the co-host and featured financial expert for MSN's Money reality TV series, The Invested Life. For 2 consecutive seasons, he's been interviewed on Fox Business, and he has numerous appearances on Chicago's WGN, NBC, ABC, Fox Television affiliates, and Matt's insights have also been highlighted in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, Advisor Today, and Financial Advisor IQ. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, help me bring to you Matt Sapaula, Mr. Money Smart Guy. Matt, how you doing? How you doing?
Who's that guy, man? How you doing, Jimmy? Good to see you.
Good. Glad to have you. So before we get started, I would like to bring on my very special co-host, your Marine brother, G-Man, Mr. Brian Gomez himself.
Devil house.
Brian, what's up? What's up, Brian? What's up? What's up? We see Brian right there. He's there. Let's get him get started. Let's help him get started. We'll take him down until he comes back up. But how you doing today, Matt?
Excellent, man. Honored to be here, man, and just excited for you and the contribution you're making to the military veteran community. You know, I'm looking at your social media profile, how prepared you are for this interview, the things you got going on. I'm very proud of you, brother.
Thank you so much. So one of the things that stuck out to me was your spiritual connection. And I want to talk about that before we get started. And I'm waiting for G-Man to pop back, and I think he's back in.
Okay.
You good? You back?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? We're here, guys. We're here. We're here. We're on deck.
All right. All right.
Excited.
So yeah, I had to bring my Marine brother in, and you know, to bring him in with this kind of. All right. So we'll jump right into it. So we have our audience over there. We have a lot of live chat coming in. So I'm going to pull some of those up in there. So, you know, this is how it's going to go. You'll see some of our audience there. They'll pop up. We'll have live comments right there as we go. You know, they said, "What's up, Fresh Fam?" So in the initial conversation that we started was your spiritual connection. So that was one of the things that stuck out with me. And I know I sent a list of questions and things that we want to talk about tonight, but it's going to be a freestyle, man. I hope you got your pick. Yeah. What are you drinking? You drinking anything?
I could be. I mean, I'm an investor.
You got to get something.
Yeah,
I see you drink the Uncle Nearest.
Well, yeah, we're my wife and I were investors in the company, so we want to make sure we promote Uncle Nearest whiskey.
There you go.
This is it. The greatest whiskey maker the world never knew. So we'll have a little shot here.
Okay.
There you go.
Cheers.
Listen, gentlemen. That's it, baby.
Started off right.
Never above you, never below you, right beside you. Get some.
So yeah, of course, we're drinking out of the fresh flask right here.
Ooh, I gotta go.
We keep your beverages fresh, right? So let's talk about it. I want to start. I want to start right into something, right? And I'm gonna tie this to your story and a story that kind of started the Military Fresh Network, and that is the parable of talents.
Okay.
That story moved me, bro.
Wow.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, the experience I had in the military coming out the Marine Corps. I got married, got divorced. You know what military service member does that, right?
Yeah.
And the only good thing that came out of that decision was my son, who's now 25 years old today. But I was in a position, I'd made bad mistakes. Again, I chose the wrong person, had kids. I had 3 kids before I was a son when I was 21, 22. I was just a corporal, turned sergeant. And then I left the Marine Corps, and then still bad pattern of behavior. Anyway, the reason why I share all that is because I spent my entire 30s repaying the mistakes of my 20s. I was in a bad situation. And then when I started, and for me, I started creating my spiritual connection because I said, man, okay, Lord, I tried doing it my way. And this is where I ended up. Let me try your way. Let me give you a shot. Okay. Yeah. And so I said, let me surrender my own ego and all that stuff, and let me follow this way. And so when I stumbled across the parable of the talents, I was at a point in my life. I was saying, how come I don't have opportunity, man? How come my life's a mess? How come all these things are going, haywire? And I realized, Jimmy and G-Man, that opportunities were coming my way. There were, I had blessings coming my way. I just didn't know how to read it. I didn't know how to comprehend that language. Why? In the parable of the talents, there's 3 different servants, right?
Yep.
One that was given 1 talent, one that was given 2 talents, one that was given 4 talents. And I realized I was a servant that operated out of fear than was given 1 talent, because they were given talents, money, according to their ability.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized because I was operating in fear, I didn't allow my ability to enable me to get to the next level of my life. And so when I started surrendering and I started learning and I started being intentional, and I realized I could do the most with the least, because I didn't have a stellar credit score. I didn't have a uncle to give me, or a family member to give me a loan to start a business. $1,000 to start a business, nothing. I started with 0, and it wasn't until I came up some scratch, about $500, and I realized what I could do with $500. And make a long story short, because of understanding money and understanding the rules of the money game, and being surrounded by people that been there, done that, surrounded by people with wisdom, experience, and knowledge. It's just not experience or just not knowledge. It's experience and knowledge, which creates wisdom. I was able to tap into doubling my opportunities. And I took that $500 investment, and make a long story short, in the last 6 years, we created a $42 million business out of it.
There you go. So I'm gonna tell you, and I'm jumping straight to the meat, bro. And it's just, you have an awesome story. And you spent 8 years in the Marine Corps, 2 in the reserve, right?
Correct.
And you did not learn about money until it was time to go. So that is one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you on, because I served 23 years in the Army. My wife served 20, and I worked 10 years as a DOD civilian for the Army.
Uh-huh.
And when it comes to money, you're the prime example that can share that knowledge to our community. So one of the things that stuck out to me was I went in and I studied you, right? And I study those that I want to learn from, and you can learn from anyone. So you've been doing this for about 22 years now, correct?
Yeah, correct. 22 years, man. Yep.
Right, 22 years. So I studied all of that, and I love that. So the thing that stuck out to me the most when you went to the ATM to take $20, right? $20, and the person before you had a receipt stuck in the ATM, and you pulled the receipt out, and they took out $500. It had $114,360.79 left after they took out the $500, and you claim that as a sign from God, right? You claim that as a sign from God. So what? There you go. So there you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I want to share a story with you, and why I do what I do, right? And you're only as great as your weakest link, right? So it's about building a team. It's not just myself. I brought in my Marine brother, but I'm gonna tell you something. 5 years ago, I had this vision that I claimed that was given to me by God, right? I claim to this day that it was given to me by God, and it was to create a platform to highlight and elevate those who serve that feel like they never had a voice and they never had a platform to tell their stories, right? Not just tell their stories, but invite people like you to assist them with money matters that they won't learn until they're done with their enlistment. If they need fitness enthusiasm or fitness encouragement or anything, that's what the Military Fresh Network is about. It's about fresh.
Love it.
I'm going to start about fresh before I go into it, to piece it together. Before I go any further, what does the word fresh mean to you?
Fresh to me means new beginning, organic. It means not manufactured. It's ready to go. Those are some of the words that just come out of my mouth when I hear the word fresh.
So yes. So when I first came up with this thing, I'm Army retired, so I only did Army Fresh, and I wasn't going to do the Marines. And I'm going to paint this picture so you see where we're going and see the connection. I didn't know a Marine to save my life. I didn't know a sailor. I didn't know an airman. 23 years in the Army, I only knew Army, right? So God gave me this vision, right? And I didn't have a logo. I just used the words Army Fresh, right? So I'm going to show you in the top right-hand corner of our screen, right? It started with that in the top right-hand corner.
Okay.
Army Fresh. No logos, not just block letters, right? So I created this thing. I said, I want to create something called Army Fresh to give, every new day is a fresh person entering into the military. Every new day is a fresh person leaving the military, the Army at that point. And I want to connect them together on both ends of the spectrum, but also let them know you can have a fresh mind state and you don't have to give up who you are as a person or your person passions, dreams, and desires. So anyway, I started this thing. Didn't know where I was going to go. And this is the message from God. So I didn't know this. I went to a boys camp with Steve Harvey, right?
Cool.
And Steve Harvey got on stage and told me about a book in the Bible. And that's where I tie Matthew 25:14, the parable of talents, right? Steve Harvey said, when God comes to you, he will give you the vision clear. And you write the vision down in block letters on tablets and make it simple and plain so that he or she that reads it will run with it. Army Fresh, block letters. I just wrote it out there and I put it out there and people grabbed it and ran with it so much that I had to create a Semper Fresh, an Air Force Fresh, a Navy Fresh. Now I know Navy people, Air Force, and now I'm providing a benefit and a service to everyone. So when you took that receipt and you went to the book of talents of Matthew 25, and then with him, Steve Harvey, telling me about the book of Habakkuk 2, verse 2, right? It all ties together. So that's kind of in a nutshell all I will say about the Military Fresh Network. And I just want to show you how it connects.
Great.
And now we wanted to give you this platform to share your talents and your abilities with our entire network. So again, thanks for coming. And I just want to just open the floor to you to show everything that you would like to share with our audience.
Well, that's awesome. By the way, that receipt's right here.
Wow.
It's a reminder.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's the receipt right there, man. That's what ticked me off. The fact that somebody took out $500 and they still had $100,000. This is not, by the way, this is not my bank account. This is somebody else that left it there, man. So this is reminder to me that God's a comedian.
Gotta grind.
Yeah. So right here's my board that kind of reminds me about my story and the uniqueness. This is a picture here. I'm about to leave for a deployment, and my now ex-wife didn't want me to see the boys before I left. And I remember the face of anguish I had, and the look on my boys' face. I remember telling myself, "This is the last time I have a look on my kid's face like that," because they didn't know where they were going, and I want to make a difference in their life. And that's why what I'm doing today. That's what drives me. Don't waste a crisis.
Yes.
Don't waste a crisis. A crisis could be the seeds and the fertilizer necessary to get you to the next level of greatness in your life if you use it that way.
You need to be.
So, G-Man, what you got? Because I'm going to pull some questions from the audience.
For sure.
So I know you had a couple questions from you as well.
Check. Yes, sir.
And I don't think he's having a delay. He might be having a delay. Testing 1 2 on G-Man. How you looking?
I'm just excited. I'm just following you for a long time. On deck, I'm just excited to be here and understand and listen to what's going on, that you've applied to what you're doing now. What the Marine Corps provided you that you're able to provide to us.
Yeah, the natural answer I'd say when I would come out was to put what did the Marine Corps provide me the benefit of to get to become an entrepreneur or decide to become a first generation cash flow millionaire. And the natural answer would come out, work ethic, discipline, all those typical answers, right? Teamwork, esprit de corps. Now, I processed that even more and I unpacked it even more. And here's what I found out, G-Man, is that the Marine Corps prepared me to work for a purpose greater than myself for no money. Because Right. We never did it for the money. We did it for the higher purpose. We may have been recruited because we wanted to wear the uniform, or we wanted a job, or we want to get whatever. But when we're in it, when we're in the Marine Corps, it's about Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, baby. I'm gonna do it for Chesty.
To the left and to the right. It's to the left and to the right. Left.
Exactly.
We give unconditionally. Yeah.
And so that's I think the greatest lesson I learned from the military. My greatest Marine Corps lesson is to serve my brothers to my left and to my right for a purpose higher than myself. Even in the meantime, I'm not getting paid nothing for it. And when I apply that to business, that allowed me not to overspend in the early years. It allowed me not to live on my money in the early years. I think that's a big mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs do. They try to live on their business too soon versus reinvest that money back into the business. And that's all I did. I just reinvested that money, all that money back into my business. Bro, I was 42 years old before I got my first pair of J's.
I see you like your J's, though. Like your J's.
Right. I rock the J's now.
Bro,
I was 42. Everybody may have had clothes and whatever. Yeah, it's not like I live my lifestyle. But, when we started making millions of dollars a year, we just tucked that money, tucked away the money. We lived in an average type home in an average community for years before we built the house that we live in right now. So it's a little bit of delayed gratification. Why? Because we kept reinvesting back into the machine and not lived on our business too soon.
So speaking of investing, and I read your whole story. I've been watching your videos. When did you get your first mentor, and how did that transpire?
It was it's about 15 years before I got my first mentor. 15. It was a long time. I thought I had a mentor, and the guys that I would get, it's more like coaching. There are more coaches and consultants.
Okay,
that's the first guys I found, and I paid them $1,000 a month. I paid them $12,000 for boot camps, business boot camps. So I wouldn't say they were really mentors, because outside of the check they collected for me, Jimmy, they didn't really care about my success. They didn't really care about my implementation.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until about 2014 I actually found a mentor. He mentored me not only in my personal life, he mentored me not only in my business life. He mentored me as also a father figure, even though I had kids older than his own. But he mentored me in so many different ways. It's very rare that you find somebody that can mentor you in multiple areas outside of just one at a time. And that's Patrick Bet-David, the CEO of our company. So that's I was looking around, and even then, I don't think I knew how to leverage a mentor. Maybe that's part of the reason too, as well. Maybe there were mentors passing me by. I didn't know how to leverage in the right way.
Yeah. So, and I know him, and I saw the interview that he did with Kobe.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
Oh, crazy.
That was amazing. So that's the part where, for all of those that are listening in, like I saw a comment here on the screen. You bring up the fact that we don't get paid a lot. What percentage of our paycheck should we be able to put away a month? Audience.
Okay. You're not going to like this answer.
Give it to him.
But this is what we put away. Everybody says 10%. Bro, if you really want to build your business, this is for me. This is for me, for me being an entrepreneur. We tucked away 50% of our income. The other 50%, so we gave it tithes, give it taxes. The other 30% we saved for opportunities and reinvestment back into our business. And the other 50% we lived on. Okay. The other 50% we paid our business bills on. And some people say, well, but that's not enough money for me to live on. Well, great, make more money. Right? If the 50% is not enough for you to live on, then increase and then fight for you to increase your income. I never made my money by saving my money.
Yeah.
I made my money by reinvesting my money back into myself, back into my business, back into my brand. I've always had money tucked away and saved. I've never skipped out on rent. I never skipped out on paying my landlord. I never skipped out on paying my vendors. There's not a person in the business place today that says that Money Smart Guy 7-Figure Squad doesn't pay their bills. Zero. Because that too, Jimmy, that's a representation of not only me being an entrepreneur, that's also a representation of me being a Marine. That's my representation of being a veteran. That's my representation of somebody following the Bible. I need to honor my bills. And so therefore they look at us like, wow, okay, this guy's a Christian. This guy's a Marine. This guy's a veteran. This guy's a multicultural demographic. He pays his bills. Maybe I need to change my stereotype on people that look like him.
Amen. Amen. So I see G-Man's back. Can you hear us? I'm trying to unmute your mic, but your mic's not coming on, G-Man. Unmute your mic because it won't let me unmute on our end. I think he's having some connection difficulties. So yeah, we'll pop G-Man in and out. If he gets his mic working, we'll have it. So like I said, we're just gonna have a candid conversation tonight because I want you to provide these insights and drop these gems for our community. One of the questions that we have is how do you balance your family and work? Because I know that you're a busy man. You're always moving. So how do you balance your family and work?
A couple of things. Number one, they're integrated into what I do. So yes, we do a lot of things. We participate in a lot of things together. I schedule family time in like an appointment. So they're in my calendar. They're blocked off. And so there's always time. You can always make time for anything that you want. You prioritize, especially being an entrepreneur, being a business. And then when I get home, I'm not messing around with my phone. If anything, I'm taking my phone and taking pictures of the kids. I'm showing them videos, but I'm not on my phone doing business. So my kids don't dread my business. They get to enjoy the fruits of my business, but they're not trying to fight for attention. It's part of the nuances of the work-life integration. I don't believe in work-life balance because, listen, man, when we're in the military, was our life balanced? No. Yeah. There's no balance in service to our country. Right? There's no balance. There's very little balance. Even if you went to college, is there any balance in going to college? No, all your day is spent in school or studying or getting your thesis done. So just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't mean there's a work-life balance. There's a work-life integration inclusion into what you're doing. Yeah.
Yes. So for all of those out here listening, and we're going to leave this up and, we're going to ask these questions. So if someone that's serving in the military currently right now, and like for myself, I'm a third shift entrepreneur.
Okay.
I still work a full-time, 8-hour job, sometimes 10, 11, 12-hour job for DOD. But I do this on my off time, on the nights and the weekends. And I have to say this too, before I go into how we do this. I'm a third shift entrepreneur, but with the help of hundreds of people across the world. Like you'll see a lot of people on the team that's in the chat group.
Right.
I do not do this alone. I have a complete team. Like you got my brother G-Man popping in and out, you know, trying to get us. He looks like he's in the office. He's actually on recruiting duty. So he's a recruiter out in San Diego for the Marine Corps.
G-Man.
Yeah, G-Man.
Oh, no kid. Okay, he's a sand dog.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Is
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Are you back on? Okay, we can hear him now. All right, so G-Man.
I think so.
Yeah.
There might be. There might be a little bit of delay, gentlemen. I apologize. I'm up in Camp Pendleton right now. I've been in the Marine Corps 18 years. I've been a part of recruiting command for the last 10. And I devoted my life to the Marine Corps. You know, you share your story about leaving a little early due to your kids. You didn't want to see your kids. You didn't want your kids. You didn't want to receive the message of your kids being born while overseas. Yeah. And that's what I did. When my son was first born, I was up and I actually was able to hear a sat phone, and that's when I got the news that I had my firstborn, which was a son. So I read a little bit of your background to that, you know, but in the Gulf, and I joined right after 9/11. So to me, I knew what I was getting into, you know, but last 18 years, I regret nothing. I love everything I've done for the Marine Corps. Even to this day, I love my job with a passion. You know, like you said something, we recruit people. We don't hire, you know, we look for the best, and we look for someone like ourselves to run our business, right? So the Marine Corps is not a business, but it kind of is. So I've been, you know, to me, this is, you know, I read a little bit what you've been through and what you've done. So I myself are getting ready to transition in the future. So, you know, I ain't gonna be in the gun club forever, and I'm glad to be part of the Military Fresh Network. And my entrepreneurial mindset did not start later on, you know. So I linked up with Jimmy and other people, and I have my business as well on the side and a training facility. But it's just an honor to be around this type of energy, you know.
100%, man. Sample freaking 5, man. I'm glad you're in the mix, man.
There you go.
Recruiting our next warriors.
So with that being said,
hey.
All right. So I've been studying. So what does this mean?
Woo! This is what you build your life on, baby.
All right. So can you talk about that for those who don't know what these bricks mean?
What you building your life on? Let me show you. So when I'm looking at life, right? We got some bricks here, man, because you know the good word says, you know, don't build your house on sand, build it on solid ground. And if you can build your financial house, I hope that it's built with values, right? Values, right? Principles, right? That stand the test of time, right? You build that, because if your house were to fall, as long as you got these, man, you can always rebuild. You can always rebuild. And often people say, one of my common question is, what's one of the first things I should put my money towards? Well, if you don't have life insurance as the original foundation of your home, you're building your house on shaky ground, and this is where you build it, baby.
There you go. So, all right, now this is the teaching point for our audience. So your expertise is in the life insurance business, and I've been learning a lot over the last week on life insurance, because you think about insurance, right? Yeah. I saw you break it down about your Apple Care insurance,
right?
Health care, rental insurance,
car
insurance, car insurance, all of that. So
cell phone insurance.
Yeah. So listen, right here.
The boo! Look at you!
Right?
Look at you, Jimmy.
I got that, right? So then I also have this, right? So this is my foundation, right?
Love it.
Values and principles, right?
Yep.
My values and principles. But then I will go a step further and then put my purpose, right?
Good.
Your purpose becomes greater than your product.
Yeah.
Because if you're just trying to sell a product with no purpose behind it, people are just buying materialistic, but they don't understand what the purpose is.
For sure.
Then, since for this audience, see, yours says life insurance, but I want you to teach the masses how to invest in life insurance to assist them. And this doesn't all have to happen tonight, because I want to create this friendship and a relationship where we continue to have these conversations and be able to link you into our community to help people learn while they're still serving in the military. So the last one is I put question marks there because whatever it is, your foundation and your principles and your purpose, but then it is what you want to do. What is it? Is it music? Do you want to build your foundation off of being a musician? Do you want to be own the world's greatest fitness gym? You know, but whatever it is, that's why I left this for our audience, you know, because yours says real estate. You can teach them how to put a real estate in there, but whatever it is that the audience wants to do, that's what I took that from you, and I love that. So explain a little bit, if you can, to the audience the goodness of looking into life insurance to become wealthy for generational wealth.
I took this from my first deployment. We're about to launch into Somalia, Africa. Operation Restore Hope. Right? We're getting geared up, armored up. And our OICs, our commanders are like, hey, go down illegal. Did you guys get your will done? Did you get this done? No, go down illegal. You can't. It was like going illegal. So we're going down there with our battle rattle. We're signing our will. We're signing our life insurance. And they're like, dude, would you like to bump this up? Like, what's life insurance? SGLI, servicemen's. Did you want to bump it up to 400,000? I'm like, all right, no problem. Another $15. All right, I guess. So my life right now is worth $400,000. And so I look back on that when I left the military. I'm like, holy moly, what a very easy way to create instant wealth for your family. I didn't have to buy real estate. I didn't have to wait for an investment in a stock to increase over time. Like instantly, $400,000 would come your way. I'll give you an example. We just had one of my new agents, Boricua. He's Puerto Rican, right? He's a salsa instructor.
Okay.
He sells a life insurance with me on a part-time, to full-time basis, right? Because COVID shut down. They're not teaching salsa classes. So he comes over into the insurance. Anyway, he helps a client $27 a month into life insurance. This client has a heart attack at 38 years old. 38 years old. He never thought in a million years he'd have a heart attack at 38 years old. Anyway, make a long story short, thank God he had life insurance. You know why? Because this style of insurance, he couldn't go back to work. He was rehabilitating, all the different things. The insurance company gave him $84,000.
Wow.
I'm not talking about medical insurance. I'm talking about the life insurance. Gave him $84,000, and he's free to spend it however he wants to spend it. And his stress is off his shoulders, and he can heal. He can get the right foods. He can go to holistic care. He can get whatever, you do after you get a heart attack to make sure it never happens again. That's what life insurance does. He didn't have to rush into another job. He didn't have to rush this and be haphazard with all the things in his life. Or he has money to start a business. All these different things now is coming his way because he set himself up. His financial house, right? I'm not talking about life. This is just your financial house. He set up his financial so he can rebuild. And he tells me, I might never go back to my old job again. I hated construction.
Yeah. So to that point, so I had a drawing here, but matter of fact, I drew this just for a reminder to myself. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay, nice.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, the 4 homes of money?
There you go.
Okay.
All right, talk about it. There's 4 homes of money.
Yeah, 4 homes of money. Very easy. I remember when I got involved in the military, everybody's telling me, "Oh man, when you make some money, put your money inside real estate." I'm like, "What you know about real estate? Talk to me then. Why should I put my money? I don't know because that's where your money grows. Well, how do you know? What are the pros and cons? Have you done it? No. So why are you trying to tell me to do with my money? Oh, put your money here in the bank. Put your money here in the stock market. Put your money in the Bitcoin. Put your money in the Forex." So all these different things you can put your money into. So no matter what home your money grows into, it's got to pass a test. It's got to pass a test. And I call that test my laser test. My laser test. What am I talking about? L stands. By the way, I just took Marine Corps training with acronyms into insurance. Acronym. Right? So laser. L stands for liquidity. Right? S stands for safety. R stands for rate of return. T stands for tax advantages. Okay? Laser test. I got to make sure my money is liquid. I got to make sure my money is relatively safe. That I don't lose my stuff. I got to make sure my money's earning higher than the cost of goods and services and inflation. I got to make sure I pull my money out. The reason why the rich get richer, because they don't pay a dime in tax.
Amen.
Right? So I want to pull my money out that way. So when I put my stuff through the filters, is a bank liquid, safe, has a rate of return tax? No. Mm-hmm. Real estate? No. Mm-hmm. Stock market? No. But boy, did life insurance have all four of those. The weirdest thing is life insurance has all those different things. So not only a protection, but what happens if you don't die too soon or you don't have a heart attack? Well, this money then grows into a pile of cash that's liquid, safe, outpaces inflation, and you don't have to pay a dime in tax when you take money from it. The weirdest thing. And I realized, I was doing research, look at all the publicly traded companies. Now I was looking at their public reporting. You know what I found out? Here's what I found out. They maximize their 401ks up to like $22,000 a year. These rich guys, right? They shove $22,000 as much as you can inside a 401k. Okay. And then the next page, you know what I found out? They asked the company to pay them $300,000, but into an insurance policy. Weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. So $21,000 is going to your 401k, but $300,000 is going to an insurance policy. And here's what most people think about insurance. It's expensive. No. The cost of insurance is different from the actual money that's growing there. It's like, oh, that's the way rich people make money. Life insurance. And you're from what? You're from New York, New York there?
Yes.
Some of the biggest insurance companies right there in New York.
Yes.
New York Life. Where does the Jets or the Giants play? MetLife Stadium.
MetLife Stadium, yep.
Yeah. Some of the biggest insurance companies are right there in New York. The biggest purchasers of corporate bonds in America, according to the American Council of Life Insurers, 60% of all corporate bonds are purchased by who? The life insurance industry, because they want safety for their policyholders. Interesting. So I just followed the money. I just follow what rich people do. I don't care about what you say. I care about where your money goes.
Amen.
And I found out where their money went. Like balling. That's balling, right? Right? That's it.
So let me show you. So this, I don't know if you can see this, but this is my notes.
That's it.
So this is before. This is what I wrote down.
Yeah.
And I also, and it's pretty cool because I don't mind if you want to be a millionaire, you hang around millionaires and find out what millionaires do, right? If you want to be a good basketball player or a football player, start going shooting in the gym, or whatever it is. So, I have an entrepreneurial spirit. I was a recruiter for 13 years for the Army.
Wow.
And hundreds, maybe even a couple thousand of recruiters. So I noticed you speak about how to close, right? And get more sales. So I was a salesman for 13 years in the Army, and G-Man is also doing the same thing, but then I also did marketing. So sales and marketing.
Sure.
So I noticed that a book that I wrote down, and I don't know if you can see it, but Misfortune 101.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about it.
Well, Misfortune 101 breaks down all the myths and misconceptions of what people think about life insurance. And we were talking about mentorship earlier. I actually spent 3 days with the guy, and I spent $8,000 to be coached by him to teach me all his 30, 40 years of experience in the insurance industry. And it blew my mind away that all these different things were inside the insurance industry. And he's like, "Man, you're gonna love the second part of this, which is another 3 days." I said, "I can't wait. I'm gonna extend my hotel and flight." She says, "No problem, man, but it's another $8,000."
And that's how it works, right?
That's how it works, man.
That's how it works.
But anyway, make a long story short, it was worth it. It was worth it. You know why, Jimmy? Because when I adopted those things he taught me, for the next 15 years, till this very day, none of my clients have lost any money. I'm talking about Great Recession. I'm talking about the 01 dot-com bubble. I'm talking about what happened here with COVID-19 and the pandemic and people getting, none of my clients lost any money.
Yep.
So people can talk theory about Bitcoin. People can talk, and by the way, here's the thing about Bitcoin. Does it pass my liquidity, safety, rate of return, tax advantage? The rate of return is very sexy. I'm not so sure about the liquidity and safety, and I definitely don't know about the taxes, and I don't know all the levers that are controlling the Bitcoin. One government stroke can change and regulate Bitcoin, and the opportunity is gone. I just don't think the government is going to give up control of cash.
Check.
I don't think they're going to say, okay, citizens of America, use another currency that we don't control. I just don't think that's going to happen. But I think there's a lot of credibility. So is there some credibility behind Bitcoin? Of course. But I'm not betting my whole entire retirement on it. I'm not building my kids' college education funds on it. I'll take a little bit of money like I gamble at sports.
Yeah.
No problem. All right, there, boom, 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 boom. Right? I take the same amount. I go gamble horses. I put inside Bitcoin. But I'm not taking a mortgage on my house. I'm not taking the 50% I was talking about earlier to put into something that's speculative. I just don't know.
So, and I got your website, and I can change it up. Is that the best website for people to find you right there on moneysmartguy.com?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got that up there for the audience. So, like, if someone wanted to learn more, what is the best way for them to get in contact with our PHP agency? And before I just put out PHP agency, let's talk about PHP agency. And I love, like I told you last night on the phone, people helping people. That's enough said right there. So, the name of it and the agency, I love it, right? And with Mr. Bet David, I've been following him too. And actually, I found you. I saw you on an interview with, I think you interviewed Damon John.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so Damon John does a lot with the military, and actually Damon John pulled me in one time live on a live stream, and I actually had a one-on-one conversation.
So cool.
Fresh Network. And so I saw you start popping up, and then so this is what catches me. Whenever I see an entrepreneur who's a veteran, I'm automatically hooked. Right? Because that's what I'm trying to portray and show to the world, that you can be an entrepreneur, and you can be a millionaire, and you can be a veteran, and you can start it now while you're in uniform and not have to wait until you get out.
That's it.
That's what it's all about. So when I saw that, I said, you know what? I have to reach out to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, and this is for the world to know, I'm just being as humble, this is unscripted. I was impressed, right? And I was also moved, because a lot of times when you reach out to a traditional millionaire driving, the Phantom or whatever, and they out on all the shows, whatever, they don't even give you the time of day. They don't even respond back. You could reach out to them, they will not respond. You responded back in less than 10 minutes. I was on my way to the mall, my wife is driving, and I'm like, he responded back. And I'm like, and then I think you called.
Yeah.
And right then you called. All that happened within 20 minutes. And I'm going to tell you that meant a lot to me. That meant a lot to me, and what you see is what you get. This is who I am.
Sure.
And this is who you are. So when I said we're going to have a candid conversation, just unscripted and just brothers talking, that meant a lot. So I wanted to pull you in and share all of this with the masses. So the best way, if somebody wanted to reach out and have you give them more information, or I'm not saying you could be everyone's mentor in the Military Fresh Network, but if they're looking for more information, what is the best way to go about it?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is go to my website, moneysmartguy.com. My favorite medium, as you mentioned earlier, is Instagram at Money Smart Guy. You can find me there, Money Smart Guy on Instagram. I send a DM. And likewise, too, Jimmy, I'm moved. I'm moved by veterans, too, who want to make moves in their transition from the military and set an example and continue to fight for the rest of their lives outside of uniform.
Amen.
And so that likewise, it was mutual respect, major excitement on my end too as well, because I did a military vlog for about a year and a half, and the reason why I stopped doing a military vlog and just transitioned to just talking about making millions of dollars, I'll tell you this: I probably never shared this. I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody. The more I got pulled into the veteran issues, a lot of the veteran community, a couple things happened. Number one, I saw the lack of diversity inside the veteran community that was being profiled. That's number one. Number two, I also realized that all they really wanted to talk about was guns and suicide.
Talk about it.
So I'm like, can we talk about a constructive message?
Let's go. No, let's go. Because
you know what I mean?
Hitting the chord. You're hitting the chord. I said, good conversation. Hey, let's talk about it.
And so I decided, you know what? I want to just shift into the primary me talking about how to put money in your own pocket, because then people will pay attention, and they don't got to do it with me. You know, by the way, just so you guys know, I don't have a course to sell. At least right now, I don't have a course to sell online. I don't have a millionaire manual. I don't have any of that. All I'm probably asking you to do is just to follow what I'm doing and model some of the things I'm doing for your own niche, your network, your own category and genre, whatever it is that you're doing, because there's values and principles that transcend all effort and entrepreneurial endeavors that you're doing. And so I just happen to be in the world of insurance. Yeah, exactly. I just happen to be in the world of insurance.
Got to get the right. The question mark. Here you go. Values, principles.
That's it, man. And so, PHP was started with 66 guys in 2009. And our CEO, I'm the chief distribution officer. Our CEO founder is an Army veteran, Humvee mechanic. And make a long story short, we just started talking about what the world of entrepreneurship and capitalism and the right type of not the crony the right type of capitalism, and what free enterprise has done to us. Because what's got me where I wanted to go is not a handout.
Yeah.
What's got me where I want to go is to have a hand up.
Yeah, man.
And we realize that as we're going somewhere, we can't forget to look back and reach back and help the next man up. People helping people.
Jack.
And so that's what we're doing, bro. If I make 10 grand, let me show you how to make 5 grand. If I make 20 grand, let me show you how to make 10 grand. Right? Let me just show you halfway what I'm doing. And therefore, it's up to you to take the other 50%, take it to the next level. But let me just show an example of success, what can happen if you are associating with the right people. So people helping people, we started with 66 guys. And today we have over 18,000 agents across the country, coast to coast. We're the fastest growing insurance marketing organization that's multicultural and diverse.
Bro, let me tell you. Okay, and G-Man, by all means, jump in. You know, I'll check your mic. Can you hear me, G-Man? Testing 1 2.
I don't care.
All right, you have anything before I go into this? Make sure that you're there. I know it's like a delay issue, but like I want to give you a chance to, say your piece.
Hey, he's speaking into exactly what we're about, Jimmy, right? It's
Wow.
full circle, right? We talk about the 360 security on our end, and the military fresh, we're about 360, full circle. Show them the tab. And that's what we're about, Everybody, people think 360 is going in a circle. No, everybody within that is providing auto security and helping each other out, carrying us forward. That's what we're about.
100%, man.
So good. So yeah, G-Man, I gotta make sure my brother gets his piece. And he's out there in San Diego. But that's my Marine brother. But I wish he was right here with me because he has energy. His energy is contagious. He's out there. There's just a little delay, so we want to continue to focus. But I want to make sure that he gets his piece in there. But let's talk about that. When you say the multicultural piece, and we talked about it on the phone. So I actually work in the diversity, equity, and inclusion field.
Wow.
On my day job.
Okay.
So diversity, before the word diversity was just like the buzzword, and they would say diversity and stop there, right?
Yeah. Now
all of a sudden, since the civil unrest and the whole George Floyd thing, now everyone's talking the word equity and inclusion.
Yep.
Right? So the Military Fresh Network was founded on that before it was a thing 5 years ago, 2015, 21 September. So we were built on diversity, equity, inclusion. And you said that a lot of the veteran, and it's not a criticism, but it's an observation, right? Because you can't never take that from us. We're veterans. We served our country 23 years, 8 active, 2 reserve.
Yep.
G-Man has 20. You got 20 in there right now, G-Man, right? Round about 20 or just by getting ready to hit 20? Thumbs up. All right. But anyway, we're veterans. But when you start looking around the landscape of the veteran community, you hit it on the head. We tend to talk about suicide, guns, and certain things. And just because you're a veteran and they see you have a business, they either, if you have a lot of followers or you're building a network, they want you to either promote their stuff or just veterans talking to veterans. I love talking to veterans, but I want to be able to open up the aperture and talk a lot more. And speak, because your money is not just for the veterans, although it's for the veterans who want to learn and listen and move forward. but your whole circle of community of friends aren't just a whole bunch of veterans.
Veterans, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the part that people need to understand that, and that's why I'm glad you said that. So, G-Man, you good to go? I don't know if G-Man, you got anything?
I'm on deck. I'm sorry for the delay, gentlemen, but you know me, Jimmy. I'm all for it. I'm excited for what you're saying. The minute he said, we're aware of the suicide situation and we're aware of some of the issues. However, that's not the lane we're trying to go. We're trying to get us more, educated and understand that while we're still in, we can make it happen. When we get out, we have people around us that want to make money, help people, support each other, So the Fresh Network is providing that platform. You're providing that platform. And it come to find out, we got more things in common that we really thought. And just from having a conversation with you, it solidifies that us Marines kind of just automatically connect, because I'm feeding off of you even though I'm in a delay. And if I wasn't a delay, we'll be talking fast and moving quick.
There you go. So I know, and I'm gonna keep you right about an hour. So we got a good 6 minutes left. I don't want to go too long because I'm, in essence of your time. So people helping people. It started in 2009.
Correct.
And I think you started with about 63 agents, and now you have over 10,000.
18,000.
Woo! 18,000. So how'd that happen?
Bro, it's we've got a model that we compensate people on production and growth. We have a board that we're responsible to. We set out to have 500,000 licensed agents by 2029. There's a huge disparity inside the insurance industry. The typical insurance agent is a Caucasian male, 60 years old, and we want to come in here and disrupt the industry. I spent my first 12 years in the insurance industry buying leads and doing dinner seminars, and I really didn't build any value behind that. As a matter of fact, I built up a lot of stress. I spent a lot of money on direct mail and old school marketing tactics. But look at technology today.
Yeah.
By the way, this conversation 10, 11 years ago, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not this. So technology and social media. I mean, we got connected because of social media, not because you opened your mail and found my mailer.
100%.
And so social media today is such a prominent tool that's not even utilized inside the insurance industry. They're still talking about email and fax machines inside the insurance industry. And so we just spent $3 million of our own money to improve our technology to push the insurance industry to, by the way, you think these billion-dollar companies would be investing heavily into technology? They're not. And so we invested our own money to show the insurance companies that we work with, hey, you got the billions of dollars. If we could put $3 million to improve our technology to better communicate our business with you, guess what you should be doing internally?
Yeah.
Guess how you should be helping the community internally. And so that, we're disrupting the insurance industry that way. We got 23 different companies we do business with. We got a major investment in 2017 from Oscar De La Hoya. He dropped $10 million into him and his partners dropped $10 million into our firm. And we've been off and running ever since. And we got some big plans. Our guys have the opportunity to have stock equity. See, when you help people have a piece of it, we have stock equity ownership opportunities available with inside a firm. So not only are you building a career, not only are you building your own business on your own platform that you can sell one day, but the overall entire entity is giving you stock if you're willing to grow the whole daggone thing.
So, man, you're hitting them. So all of these logos is an overarching brand. This is all a brand portfolio of the same headquarters, right?
Yes. So
we have our own marketing agency called MFN Consulting Group, where we do our own marketing in-house. We're building that in-house. So do you guys, I think I saw you have a marketing agency.
Not
your marketing?
Internally, no. I mean, do we use it out internally? We have our own marketing department division, but we don't outsource. Okay,
so the question is, and you talked about the email, and this is, I'm only asking this because we just started doing this a couple weeks ago. Are you guys utilizing the text platform where you text, where you can opt in text, PHP to 22828 whatever, and then they could hit stop if they don't want to, but you also be able to keep sending those people who opt into that using text?
Still no, bro. We're still using word of mouth. We're using events. We're connecting via Zoom. We're using we part of that $3 million investment. We have our own app internally. We have our own app, so that's how we group communicate with one another.
Okay, so we're gonna talk again because I
look forward to it, man.
Because the texting is quick. People are opening a message far greater than email. So even if you organically grow an email list and do a drip campaign with email, you know the opening rate of an email, people aren't opening emails anymore. So for us, I just learned we have to get over onto a text platform. So we use a text platform called Textedly.
Cool.
Check it out, and you can start using that. So if before we go, top 3 books.
Number 1, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Amen. I love that one.
Because Robert Kiyosaki, also United States Marine, Vietnam veteran, Asian American. I resonated with him a lot. Okay, being Filipino. Okay,
that's a good one.
Number 2 is gonna change your life in terms of how you think about money. The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. And the 3rd book, which is by my CEO founder, I would say is a recommended book, is Your Next 5 Moves. So part of the military, you're in the Marine Corps, right? You're in the Army, you're in the Air Force, you're in the military, you're active duty. You got to know your next 5 moves.
Not 2.
Not just one. Most guys like, I'm gonna get a job. Oh, what happened if that job don't pan out? Right? Oh, I'm just gonna go to college, use my GI Bill. Right? What happens is that's not enough. You got to know your next 5 moves. You need to anticipate. See, we did all this stuff in the military very easily. We did our pre-planning meetings. We did our debriefs, after action reports. How come we personally don't do this for ourselves? So that's what you got to do in post-military. Don't wait for the career jammer. I'm sorry. Don't wait for the career planner to help plot out your career. Your career, right?
There you go.
So you got to say, what are my options? What financial resource do I need to acquire to make sure these options are viable?
Yes.
And it always anticipate this. The shit's going to hit the fan.
Yes.
And if it does, are you prepared? Do you have a rally point? Do you have a plan B, C, D, right? And so these are the things that you would anticipate in that. And by reading that book, Your Next 5 Moves, what are those next moves? There's 5 different categories.
So one of the things that I got out of this conversation and all of the research that I've done over the last few days, and I think we can close with this one until the next time, because I don't want this to be a one and done conversation.
Sure.
I will continue to have you on the Military Fresh Network and have a different conversation about something else. But when you said that when shit's gonna hit the fan, what I learned from my research, if you put it into in insurance, it protects it when shit does hit the fan, because the stocks are gonna go up and down. There's no floor, there's no ceiling. When you do your 401k, you're going to lose money on that. Your TSP, all of that. So I noticed if you invested it into that solid bubble of insurance, people utilize different types of insurances so they can borrow on that insurance later when they need it. So that's what I learned in my studies over the last couple of days. So I just want to say, man, I just want to give the floor to you. Whatever you want to say to the audience, because I try to keep it right at an hour.
Okay.
We could talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I'm conscious of your time, and I just want to say I thank you for coming in. So what would you like to leave the audience for tonight?
Here's a word that my mentor showed me last night, which is the word still. There's 2 words that you have to consider: still doing or still thinking. What are you doing right now? You're thinking about your next moves. You think about your career after the military. You think about a career that you really don't like. Well, what's your next move? What are you still thinking about? What are you still doing? Are you having the right people around you? But as I share this and as I sign off here, I'm not an anomaly. It doesn't take a rocket science. I don't have a college degree. I still didn't use my GI Bill. I still haven't used my college benefits here in Illinois. But somebody introduced me into the gift of entrepreneurship after the military, and I just deployed everything I learned in the military, fighting for America, fighting for everything I believed in, and I was starting to apply that early in my life to the business world, because I realized they're in Camp Pendleton, where G-Man is at right now. Why are certain people living a life of wealth, luxury, and happiness and prosperity, and I'm not? What do they know about money? You shouldn't be salty about them. I'm not looking for an equal distribution. I'm just looking for an equal opportunity. And my friends, they're in the military, in uniform, out of uniform. and friends and family that are helping serve too as well. They may not be in uniform, but you're in a serving capacity because you're related to them, or you're married to them, or you're a child of them. You deserve the very best that the world has to offer you. Why? Because you've already served our country. You've done your part. And if you've done your part and you're willing to take it to the next level and say, hey, I'm willing to do something for my family, for myself, this is it. I'm not an anomaly. I shouldn't be the only person talking about being a military millionaire. You're the next one. You're the next one. So what are you still thinking about? Or what are you going to still keep doing? I choose to keep still recreating myself, because once you find these things, this game, you find the puzzles that go together to make this picture for yourself a whole lot bigger. It becomes fun. And guess what? Your children start enjoying too as well. And your spouse, your husbands, your wives, your people you don't care about, they start seeing what type of life you're living, because you still are doing and are still recreating yourself. So with that being said, on behalf of the Military Fresh Network, Jimmy and G-Man, I'm your Money Smart Guy. Let's stay connected on Instagram, Money Smart Guy. My website, if you want to connect with me there via email, but send me a DM on Instagram, and we'll see you on the other side of this thing. Until we meet again, continue to live smart, continue to love smart, and be money smart today. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, G-Man there. Hey, thank you. It's been a blessing. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. This is going to stay up on Facebook for a couple of days, and you'll see it on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook or YouTube. And check us out on Money Smart Guy on Instagram, or the Military Fresh Network on Instagram. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. Let's go until the next time.
Woo! Hey, and we'll be